retard, retard, retard.
So, welcome back. And we just got into the aircraft, as a matter of fact. And let me put this to... Yeah, we are in real time. No, we're not. There we go. Now we're in real time. And we are on live weather. Mark, hello to you. Nice to see you. How are you doing? Right, it's cold. It seems to be
Welcome
getting
aboard the Captain
below.
Blackbox Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Mathematics, thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing good. And thank you so much for the 16 months. Right, we're caught. Scan. Oh, did I? No, I did not, did I? Oh, hang on. Hold on. I have a feeling that I didn't load in with the Scandinavian livery. Oh, didn't matter anyways. Lol. Sorry. So switching on a controller while in Microsoft Flight Sim is not the best idea. But there we go. We have more time to talk. So SE, hey, how you doing? Yes, we're flying now. Runa, hello. Martin, hello. Tony, hello. Ewald, welcome back. And Amantha, also welcome back. CAT's next-gen simulators and the graphics were very similar to Microsoft Flight Sim. Yeah, I guess they were losing satellite data. Shout out, Mark. That's a good one, Yoda. Unless Mark has actually gone and started streaming on Twitch. I mean, you never know, right? And Lee, welcome back as well. Kickstarter streamer career, right? So we called Scandinavian 711 apparently. At least that's where I filed the flight plan. So while we're loading up, I can show you the flight plan. So in theory, what we'll do is we're going to fly from Graz to Malmö. So that will be the routing. Graz. So in case you don't know where Graz is, so we just landed somewhere. Well, somewhere over here. And Poprat. And now we're flying from Graz. I always find it quite surprising. Graz is fairly down south in Austria. Right. While you have Vienna here. So there you go. So expecting a departure to the south, runway 17 center. Oh, sorry, it's 16 nowadays. 16 center. Middle goes 6 Golf. And the flight plan says, let's do flight planning. Load. Let's start. FSUIPC. And then we'll fly now. Connect. There we go. It is in Austria, yeah. Hey, Sapphire Wave, how are you doing? Right, this time we'll load up the right livery. So we'll go with this beauty. And again, going to Graz. It'll be real time, real weather. Let's hope that nobody has spawned in here already. That music makes you sleepy. Right, FENIX does not start up automatically. So I'm going to force it again manually. Make sure all the FENIX stuff is out.
The charts are blocking the view.
Thank you. And, well, at the moment there's nothing to see anyways. But thank you though for the reminder. So come on, FENIX. You can do this. There we go. Right, so let's have a look. Let's let the memes begin. So, welcome to Graz Flughafen. That's a static aircraft, I'm pretty sure. So I think we will be good. Right. Now VPilot just quit. Let's restart VPilot. Maybe it didn't like the call sign. Settings, audio, that's good. That is fine. That is good already. Connect. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, we were lucky there. Yeah, so quite typical that you have landings 3-4 center and departures 1-6 center. So that definitely does happen. All right, so. So, I'm just going to program a failure. And then we'll all see how we handle that. So keeping fingers crossed I've not messed up completely regarding these failures. Let's go ATSU first of all. ASC menu, flight init. Chrono failure? No, nothing so serious. No, no. I mean, chrono failure is literally the worst you can have, so... yeah, there's no risk of having that, no. Right, good database. Init request. Whee! Lovely. Lovely busy airport tonight. Nice. So, Scandinavian 711. Rostock is the alternate lol. Cost index according to the flight plan. Yes, it's FSLTL, yeah, correct. Managed to get that installed, believe it or not. So tap to import from SimBrief. Is it really? Hang on. No, what's the time? Sorry, let me just set that to the right time here. Ah, there we go. Double click that. So now, 13 minutes. We've got to hurry up. Direct ATIS Graz looks good. 1021. SS22. SS21. Right, so let's go OFP. Theoretically, we have the flight time of 1 hour 28 minutes, level 360. The fuel required is 6.8. So 7 tons will be the block fuel. And we'll go ground services. We'll do mass and balance. Load aircraft fast time. Yeah, 7 tons, correct. Ground services. Let's get stairs, forward, aft stairs. Let's open that.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Twitch channel.
Now we should not need
Could new subscribers please make
pushbacks.
your way
Normally
to
we
the
can taxi out
cabin,
ourselves.
where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served.
And Voyager, thank you so much again for gifting us up, this time to Sapphire Wave. Total of 22 gifted subs on the channel. Thank you so much. And this time I got the name right. Thank you very much for that. So I guess there's no risk of GSX messing up this time. We'll just leave it completely off. Cost next 11. And the cruising, although let's go wind request first. And then cruising was 360. And the temperature minus 63, pretty cold up there. We have a ground minus 2 currently. High tropopause. Wind uplink. And so we do expect a zero fuel weight of, well, that's at the moment, right? So the flight plan says we expect about 59.2. That's quite a lot. So 59.2, 7 tons block fuel, and the alternate fuel is 1.3. I entered minus 33, what? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, that was on purpose, obviously, mathematics. Yeah. I just need to test your alertness, because I need you all, guys. I need you. It's going to be a interesting failure. And I just programmed that out of the blue. That was the failure, exactly. So now we're good to go. And I don't know how it's going to pan out, so we'll see how that all goes. Departure. Now Graz Airport has approach. We have ATIS. So 19.3. Let's see if the switchover works here. Yeah, apparently it does. Cool. So 16 center on the Milgo departure. So 6 Golf, I think it is. So Milgo all the way to Malmö, and Malmö currently has 180 at 8. So Malmö will be landing south. So ILS 17. And for that we'll have to go Buckley 1 Sierra. Buckley 1 Sierra, approach via SUP. So there you go. That looks all good. Too steep path. Right, that's because... we'll see. Right, init A page, B page, filled out, flight plan page, RAPNAV page. So the departure route is going to be an RNAV departure. Exactly, chat check ride. The Austrian airspace is crowded. Well, I've waited until it's a bit later in the evening. So I honestly hope that that it's not that busy anymore. But I know the Austrian controls are really, really good. So, ooh. Well, there's still quite a lot of aircraft inbound to Vienna. All right. During failure, do you perform worse because when training you expect it, but in real life you don't? Does it affect performance or not? Well, so terrain. So what it, I mean, if you know roughly what's going to happen, and you've prepared at home, then of course it will make things a bit easier during the check ride. To counteract that these days, you have a fairly extensive set of failures that is possible for you to get. And what they will do is, in the first day, they will give you a not too complicated failure, and then see how you deal with it and how your CRM works, how your leadership works as a captain, etc., etc. And then on building on that first experience, you have a set of different failures and scenarios available to then go through. So you can prepare to a certain extent, but not completely. And I mean, performance-wise, I mean, experience shows that if you have even the more complicated failures in real life, they may not go perfectly according to book, but overall the performance is good. And so the outcome regarding how the failure was handled is also very satisfactory. So, right, Milgo 5 uniform. There we go. Actually, no, hang on. That's a 6 Golf. I hope I entered the right one now. 6 Golf. Yeah, 6 Golf it is. Does that answer the question? 16.2 knots. No, these days you get surprised. So you know the general kind of area where failures, what kind of failures can occur, but you don't exactly know which one it is until it happens. So that definitely has changed, yeah. So difference performance. Let me get the clearance before we do anything else. Graz approach, Servus from Scandinavian 711, information Sierra, A320 requesting clearance please.
Scandinavian 711, a wonderful evening, Sierra is correct, and you cleared to your destination by the Milgo 3 Hotel out of runway 16 center. Initial climb flight level 160 and squawking 4632.
Scandinavian 711 is clear to Malmö. The Milgo 3 Hotel departure out of 16 center. Climb initially level 160 and squawk 4632.
Scandinavian 711, fully correct.
Alright, 4632. So that, then we go 160. We have to change the departure route, however. So it is a bit different to what I expected. So it's going to be the Milgo 3 Hotel. There it is. Insert to Milgo. Oh. Should wait a few seconds. There we go. There we go. There we go. So the Milgo 3 Hotel is similar. It goes 164 track to 2,200 only, and then to Whiskey Golf 603. So the turn is a bit earlier, and then to Milgo. Let's check that. Flight plan 2,200, and then 603, and then to Milgo. Hey Senshai, how you doing? Cool. Alrighty, so performance now. We go. Let's go night charts, shall we? Captain HMW, hello. I do have it, yeah. We're just gonna have to see how we're gonna get there. So we will see. So the final. Hang on, did we get the final load sheet? Hold on. Yeah, that's the final load sheet. We'll accept that. So that's going to be 59.2, and the trim is 31.4. 66 tons takeoff weight. Is that correct? Yeah, 66 tons takeoff weight. So that's correctly there as well. 16 center dry. Optimum flap. We'll go anti-ice. Visibility's good. Shallow fog though. No clouds. No significant clouds. So engine anti-ice can remain off. Packs. Well, actually, let's go packs off. CG's actually, yeah, for takeoff 29.5. The weather -2. I go -1, and do that variable. Let's do 5 knots variable, just to be on the safe side. And I'm captured.
Mike, you cleared Alice Port, Chamber 34 center.
Well, I mean, I managed to log on, didn't I? Yeah, so you need to get the logon code from VATSIM. Right, full length. Config 1 is fine. Yeah, alright, so we'll take those values. So 1 at 64. Now I'm just trying to think if it makes sense. No, probably doesn't. I don't think I'm going to take my co-pilot with me today. I mean, my virtual co-pilot. Because anything that goes a bit more outside of the norm regarding procedures, etc., then FS2 crew does become a bit useless. So right, 141, 41, and 44. Good. So, last thing to do is Graz.
Okay, go for the mic, wind, calm, runway 34,
so it's NDP 2 and engine out
gate 20.
Is 27.
Channel aviation 20.
Graz, left to Golf, Bravo, Golf, and hold. So special AOSID. So I'll leave that as it is, and then 27 in here. So 16 centered out, and 166, and so then it's 6 miles Graz. We are. And then Golf, Bravo, Golf. And that's the beacon. Fantastic. Right, so.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Christmas and New Year infotainment experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where seasonal aperitifs, canapes and Christmas cheer will be served. Thank you.
Gunman, thank you so much for the 4 months. Gunman, I hope you're doing good, and thank you so much for subscribing. Welcome, welcome. Right, how do you decide which minimums to use on landing? Well, it depends on, I mean, normally you would do a normal ILS approach, Cat 1. So that's how you would normally find the minimum. So here, for example, if we did one in Graz, you would go have a look for the Cat 1, let's say 3-4 center. There you have category Charlie aircraft for, let's say, an airliner. If it's a 747, so very heavy aircraft, use the Delta minimum. But normally for airliners like A320, 737, it's going to be Charlie minimum. So add or round up to the next 10 feet is always advisable. So 1,300 would be there for normal ILS. If it's foggy and you hear Cat 2, Cat 3 in progress, here's your Cat 2 minimas. So Cat 2 Charlie is 129 radial altimeter. Which then has to be entered accordingly into the MCDU. But I also made a video on that if you're interested about that. Good. So, regarding departure, we are departing runway 16 center on the Milgo 3 hotel departure. Initial climb clearance was level 160. And the sector, that's more interesting here today, sector to the north is 10,000. The west 8.3 and the east 4,300. So high terrain around the airport, meaning we have to be careful. Contour layer, wide area would be 4,000 safe. But as soon as we get north of the field, the terrain gets a lot higher, a lot quicker.
Also, Mike, welcome to Graz. Continue via
we have extra about 10 minutes
television number
for
20.
Malmö. Taxi out, pretty straightforward. There's no real hot spots, so turn around, Delta,
Schönen Abend,
northbound,
neues Jahr, ciao.
and engine out rebriefed, straight ahead 6 miles Graz, then left to Golf Bravo Golf. Acceleration is in 2,700. Clean up, we'll climb 4,000, and then get radar vectors for an approach 3-4 center. We'll be below max landing weight. No, actually, we're going to be above max landing weight of 64.5. So, because we're weighing 66 tons right now. So, to have to look for the approach performance Well, then I made a workshop file though, regarding LPV. Terrain ahead. So normally I'd have those only available for subscribers, but I tell you what. So if you're fast in reading, so here you go. So just make a screenshot or something. Because again, I'm not going to go through that. I don't have time to go through everything in detail, unless it's a topic that I've prepared. So here's the first page. That's the second one. LPV simulating a localizer and glide slope beam, which means the indications get more sensitive as they get closer to the field. What the difference is, why are the differences in the minimas, etc., etc. So yeah. Right, there we go. Okay, cool. So that's all done. Cockpit preparation checklist. Gear pins, covers removed. Fuel quantity 7,020 kilograms. Balanced. Seatbelts on. ADIRs. Is nav. And then we've got Barbara Ref, QNH 1021, set and checked. That's the cockpit preparation checklist completed. Let's start the APU and let's get going. We're going to have to ignore all those ground vehicles there in a minute. Yeah, terrain ahead, welcome. And I mean, if you have further questions, just ping me either on my Discord channel or here on Twitch, and I'll see what I can get you. So before start, parking brake is set. Takeoff speeds thrust 141, VR is 141, V2 is 144, flex is 64. Windows closed. Doors closed as well. And the beacon is on. Scandinavian 711, stand 2 requesting startup.
Scandinavian 711, startup and push is approved.
Okay, start and push is approved. Scandinavian 711. Ugh, I was afraid of that. We'll just do the FENIX pushback in that case. Right. APU lead on. That off. Fuel pumps on. Let's put that to lower. Cool. All right. I'm just gonna open a private chat to the controller. I just want to make sure that I don't really annoy the controller, because it's going to mean a little bit of work for him. So done that. Let's get the pushback then. So connect the tug. Okay. All right. He's given the green light. Right, so he says he doesn't mind. How do you control your cameras on Microsoft Still with that other controller? Well, I've just matched some viewpoints on those. So, you know, there's just certain buttons that I have connected to, and that's how I do that. All right, so tow bar the truck is connected. Release parking brake, brake release, ready for push. And start. And then we'll start the engine. Engine to start. Let's get the transponder on. But most of my controls are actually here on the Bravo. So here I've got most of these buttons models. Because my flight stick only has one, actually it doesn't have any viewpoints on it. Nah. It won't be perfect, that's for sure. But it will do. So let's stop here. Right. Well, we'll see how that all goes regarding the failure, because I don't know how good the simulation is, or if you run into any issues. But even more important is how you guys are gonna deal with it. Yeah, Chris Lee, well that's not hard to beat, is it? Right, let's prepare. Flaps 1 it was. That. Then we'll go that. Set the trim, that was down 0.2, which is about 30%, isn't it? Yeah, 29 point something. That's all done. Flight controls, full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, and the rudder, full left, full right, neutral. After start checklist, we have the anti-ice off, ecom status checked, pitch trim 29.5%, rudder trim neutral, and that's the after start checklist completed. Scandinavian 711, request taxi.
Scandinavian 711, Coordinate to 1021, taxi holding position 16 center via Delta.
Okay, Shell 1021 and via Delta holding point 16 center, Scandinavian 711. Good, so left side clear, right side clear, let's go. And hopefully here the noticeable steering works. It does. Here comes the brake check. Working. just want to start process lasso. Could help a little bit with performance. A lovely Dash 8, yeah. I know, right? GSX is off. Again, I don't know what it is, guys. I don't know why the performance suddenly has become worse, if it's a driver issue. But I've noticed the Microsoft Flight Sim with the TAA, it has become a lot worse. It just drops down to, like, look at that, 43, 44. That is just really weird. The only one that can. Right, I just need to try something here.
Wind 711, when ready, wind calm, runway 16 center cleared for takeoff.
Right, 16 center cleared for takeoff, Scandinavian 7, hold on, Dankeschön. One thing I'm noticing as well, I can't, for some reason today, I can't use the Intel tuner. Alright, so taxi checklist. We've got flag controls checked, flap setting, config 1 plus F. Radar, predictive wind shear system on auto. Engine mode selector is normal, and EK mode takeoff no blue. So let's do the lineup flows and lineup checklist. We did set packs to off. I'm going to forget this probably because of the failure later on. You guys have to remind me, packs are off. We have to switch them on. So takeoff runway 16 center, full length, TCAS, TARA, and the packs are off. Brendan, well, I don't know. Somebody said it could be a server issue, really. So holidays mean a lot of people being online on Microsoft Flight Sim, which I would find surprising. I would say maybe it's more a an issue with the driver. But there we go. All right, so done everything, done the checklists. Let's go. Let's see what happens. Takeoff. Manflex 64 SAS, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. Knots checked. Wow, 35 FPS? You've got to be kidding me. One. Rotate. Look at the stutters. What is this?
You've got to be kidding me.
25 FPS? Pause rate, gear up. This thing is broken. Alright, I can see the gears not coming up.
Scandinavian 711, the read identified 2,000 feet.
That's confirmed, Scandinavian 711. We seem to have an issue with the landing gear. I'll call you back. Initially we'll stay on the departure route.
Copy that.
Right, thrust climb up blue, auto thrust. Guys, let me just give me a second here. I just need... So, oh, and look at that. Oh, God. Right. Also, hydraulic green, reservoir low, PTU off. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll go through the list in a second. Aviate, navigate, communicate. So, we're flaps 1. I'm going to... First of all, select the speed to 180 or 190 knots so that we don't overspeed the flaps and the gear, because the gear is still out. We're climbing fairly slowly because of all that extra drag. So the question would be, before we go into the checklist, does it make sense that we continue towards the terrain? And while you think about this, I'm going to go hydraulic green, reservoir low, ecam actions. So PTU off. Is off. Green engine 1 pump off. Is off. So we've got green engine 1 low pump low pressure. Well, yeah, that's obvious. And then a secondary failure now, green system low pressure. Roger that. No liquid either, so no hydraulic fluid left. Fuel consumption is increased. Well, yes, of course, especially with the landing gear down. FMS predictions are reliable. All right, and that's the hydraulic issue then completed. So clear hydraulics, clear. I tell you what, let's get radar vectors back to the south, shall we? Scandinavian 711 request.
Scandinavian 711, go ahead.
Yeah, we have a hydraulic failure, and also we are unable to raise the landing gear, so we're going to get problems with the terrain to the north. Could you get us some radar vectors to stay a little bit south of the airport until we figured out what to do next?
No problem. In the moment, turn right heading the 160.
Right turn heading 160, Scandinavian 711. Thank you. Next question would be, what about our altitude, guys? Does it make sense that we climb to 16,000 feet?
Good night, Black
Lilo,
Box.
same to you. Have a good one. All the best for next year. Thank you so much. Ask for lower altitude. How high? What altitude shall I ask for? MSA? Yeah, so which one? 10,000 or 8,500? 10,000. Yeah, I agree. And Scandinavian 711 request level off at flight level 100, please.
You're really at flight level 100. It's 10,000 feet, QNH 1021.
Yeah, I just saw that as well. Thank you. So we're leveling off 10,000 feet, QNH 1021, Scandinavian 711. Okay. Yeah, 10,000 is actually not bad, because normally 10,000, especially, I'm not sure about Austria, but normally 10,000 is where you don't have any more VFA traffic, which at night time isn't really that bad. But Okay, so next. So we're safe regarding aviation. So aviate, navigate, communicate. We've done all that. So landing gear not uplocked. Ecam actions. Max speed 280, Mach 0.67. Checked. Fuel consumption increased. Well, fuel right now, no issue. But we'll note that down. And FMS prediction unreliable. Also checked. Clear landing gear. Clear landing gear. Right, air. I told you we're going to forget this. So that's not an abnormal. We just forgot to switch them on. Right. Then we have wheel. So not sure why it's not showing the wheel page. Wheel, landing gear control, normal braking, auto brake is in up. Clear wheel, flight controls. We have spoiler pair 1 and 5 in up, and we have the green hydraulic jacks ailerons in up. Also green jack on left elevator in up, and the rudder green hydraulic jack also is in up. But the flight controls themselves are fully functional, including the pitch trim. So, clear flight controls. Status, stop ECAM. Right, so, anything that we could do in the meantime before we go and work through the ECAM here? Yeah, so normally there would be no pilot flying change initially. So I was pilot flying, and the first officer would do then the checklists, yes. So the pilot flying would be monitoring. Sorry, the co-pilot would be pilot monitoring, and he would read the checklist. Good. So, what now? As we climb to 10,000 feet, guys. What do we do now? Is there anything that we can help to improve?
711, turn left heading 090.
Left 090, Scandinavia 71. Wait and chill, right. Okay. Maybe talk to the passengers. Yeah, so I would tell, first of all, I'll talk to my cabin crew, because normally I think they would be calling me already. They would say, hey Captain, is something wrong? There's a very loud noise in the cabin. Sounds like the landing gear is still down. Is everything okay? And then I would say, I was just about to call you. No, actually we have a problem with hydraulics and the landing gear. That's why it's so loud at the moment. We're unable to raise the landing gear. We're currently going through the checklists, and I will give you an update in about 5 minutes time, and then I'll make an announcement to the passengers. That's what I would tell them. At start 10,000 at safe altitudes. Okay, so I don't see any bigger things that we can do right now apart from the landing gear lever, but I'm going to touch that until I know what's in the status. No, not yet, Crosswind. That's too early for that, because we don't have all the facts yet. Right, so that's too early for that. So status, so continue ECAM read status. We got max speed to 80.67. We checked that fuel consumption increased. Well, yeah, look at that fuel flow. And that's about double what we normally have. Landing distance procedure apply. Okay, keep that in the back of our minds because of the hydraulic failure that we have. Alternate yellow brake with anti-skid is available. FMS prediction unreliable. Slats flaps slow. Okay, that's because of the green hydraulic failure. Cat 3 single only. Again, also because of the hydraulic failure. And I should have mentioned we're still in normal law. So autopilot is still engaged, normal law. So that's all good. In-up systems, green hydraulic, spoiler 1 and 5. Check that. Cat 3 dual is in-up. Normal braking is in-up. But we have alternate braking. Auto brake is in-up though, so manual braking. Landing gear retract is in-up. That's due to the hydraulic, okay, and reverser 1 is in up. Again, because the green hydraulic. Green engine 1 pump is in up, and the yaw damper 1 is in up. So remove status, removed, ecam action.
Scandinavian 711, turn left heading 010.
Left heading 010, Scandinavian 711. We'll take about 3 to 4 more minutes, and then I should be able to give an update on our next procedure.
Scandinavian 711, no problem. Take your time.
Thank you so much. All right, so exactly. So there's something really I find peculiar. So when we did our takeoff and lifted off, the first issue we had, I called for gear up. The handle was put in the up position, but we didn't get an unlock of the landing gear. All right, so we can definitely say the landing gear is downlocked. And the reason why we have a red indication there, it shows us it's a disagreement between the gear position and the handle position. So one thing I would do now, and I would ask my first officer, are you okay with lowering the landing gear lever so that we have an agreement on the indication? And so I ask you guys, do you see any issues? There is no after takeoff climb checklist, Fred. Exactly. So, you know, your technical knowledge should be good enough, and to know that it's just a handle disagreement. There's no other issues, because if there were any gears unlocked, you would have an indication there, a red triangle, but we don't. All right, so that's why you can lower the landing gear lever, and there we go. So we have normal gear down status. But as we saw in the status page, the landing gear retraction is in up. So we can't raise the landing gear. It's not going to work. So forget Malmö, not going to go there, right? We can't reach that. Yeah, so again, you won't recycle. All right, it doesn't work because hydraulic has failed. So there we go. Okay, so let's go through the facts, options, risk benefit, decision, execution, and check. So for the fact finding, we would need to work out our landing distance procedure, for example. So, hey, Captain George Moyne. So normally in real life we have something that we could just put in SOS field, which we don't have here. So we can simply put an SOS and then select an elevation, and that way we would have a means of calculating our landing distance procedure without having an airport itself.
Scandinavian 011 and left heading 270.
Left heading 270, Scandinavian 711. So here I can't. So if I enter Graz, it doesn't mean that I want to land in Graz. Right? It's just something that I can calculate landing distance with. So currently we are weighing 64.9, so we're getting close now to our 64.5 tons max landing weight. So that's good, so we won't be overweight for landing. Weather is okay, -2, that's fine. So let me just put 64.5. And then I want to put in some of the failure here. So hydraulics, green system low pressure. So max manual is applied. That's correct. So auto thrust off. We'll take no reverse, idle reverse, max manual braking, And, well, the question now is, flaps full or flaps 3 for landing? What do you think? Someone says full, someone says 3. Yeah, but what about missed approach? Remember that the slats flaps move slowly, and we have a landing gear that doesn't raise anymore. So I would actually go with a config 3. Hey, forward. And if you look at the difference between full and 3, it's about 200 meters. All right, so we still would have in Graz, we'd still have 600 meters buffer. Hey, terrain ahead, no worries. Just, you know, keep listening, keep learning. It's all good. But we know now that we need about 2,100 meters, roughly, of required landing distance with that failure. Now, if we look at our routing here and look at our position, let's have a look at our options. So, we have Graz. We have we know we have Vienna. That should be Vienna there. We have Salzburg. We have Munich further to the west. I don't want to go south because of the mountains. So anything north of the mountains will be alright. So let's have a look at another calculation here. Just wondering what we have landing in Vienna. So I'm just checking our position again. Yeah, so we can see that we're now nicely in the... Oh, it's actually 6-8 here in that sector. So we're safe on the sector here, nothing to worry about in 10,000 feet, that's all good. Right, let's have a look, MCDU. So they'll be landing 1.6, which is good. And they've got cavalcade 2 degrees. And so what we could do is, just as another option, let's look at Graz. Not Graz, Vienna. So we'll take runway 16 for landing. Apply the METAR, 64.5 tons. So the same thing, 2,000 meters, and we would have 3,600.
Turn left heading 180.
Left heading 180, Scandinavian 710. Right, endurance at the moment. So if you look at your fuel flow, about 4 tons per hour. The remaining flight time is about 1 hour 15 minutes until the engines quit. So our range with this speed is limited to 200 miles. So assuming we don't want to cut it too close, right? So you can see with that failure, our options are actually fairly limited. Vienna is 70 miles away. And we talked about Munich. Munich is 170 miles away. So Munich, in this configuration, is not an option. So what pilots usually do, they would call up the nav mode here, put the range to 160 miles, let's say, get the airport info in here, and now you can see the airport's at 80 miles around the field, or around your position. And we go one more, so that's 160 miles. And that way you would see terrain, you would see all the possible airports. So even Budapest would be on the edge if needed. Hey, der Kalidus, Dankeschön.
Twitch channel subscriber
So,
experience. Could new
I would
subscribers
say
please make your way to the first
options
class
available
cabin, where
are
complimentary drinks,
Vienna,
snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served.
Graz,
Thank you.
and maybe Salzburg. Which airport would you choose? And why? You could think about this. So, which system is supplied? Amsterdam. Fail. The slats, blue system, and the flaps, the yellow system. So yes, you can retract it. What do you think will happen to the fuel flow required? Let's test it out. So let's raise the flaps. And let's go green dot. I was just waiting for someone to suggest that. Good one. Who was it? Who asked regarding flaps? Kabauter. Yeah, GG. Well done. Exactly. Yeah. So what are the advantages of Vienna compared to Graz? So Vienna has two possible runways. So it has 1-1 and 1-6. Better food. Yeah, I can't deny that. So it has a bit longer runway. It has two options, two runways available, although they're crossing. So strictly speaking, we can't declare them as two separate runways, but that's a different matter. What speaks for Graz? Graz is nearby. However, the problem is we've got to work through... Well, actually... Well, no, we don't have to do much. We've done the languages procedure. We talked about what's working, what's not working. So preparations are actually not taking that long. Yeah, maintenance is also something we could also include in our options now. Did you notice, guys, it doesn't say land ASAP in amber or red. Alright, so that's also something that points you into the direction of how important or how critical this is. Stream will go back to Graz. Linz. So how far away is Linz? LOWL. It's 100 miles. It's a bit further than Vienna, so I don't know why Linz would be better. Okay. Now the only thing I can see that speaks against Graz, maybe, is the missed approach. So if we look at the approach chart here for the ILS 34. Although, I mean, it's straight out and then right turn. It's alright. We can fly this, two engines. Yeah, so it's not really a big deal. Yeah, I thought maybe because of the terrain situation, but no. Okay, so we have two good options. And the fuel flow, look at that. Fuel flow at the moment, yeah, it is about 400 kilograms less. maybe 300. But to be fair, that is actually maybe a bit inaccurate, but I'll leave it at that. But green dot, definitely. Green dot is a good speed to fly if you want to conserve fuel. Okay, guys, so which one is it going to be? Vienna or Graz? I'm not going to say what my favorite is.
Scandinavian 711, turn left heading 030.
Left 030, Scandinavian 711. That's Milan. No, we said we don't want to go over the Alps. You know. Okay. So, we now call the company and we give them two options. I can give you Graz or I can give you Vienna. And so they would say something maybe, you know, as well regarding their preferred runway or airport. Hey, McChester. All right, so yeah. The company says if you can fly to Vienna, come to Vienna, we have maintenance there. 70 miles will take about 20 minutes. That gives us time to prepare the cabin if needed, etc, etc. And just want to check the minimum cruising we need for that. But the good thing is that ATC could give us that info as well. So they could tell us the minimum en route clearance for that. And McChester would probably know that off by heart. So here I got 10,000, 7,000. So 10,000 is safe. All right, guys, so if there's no objections, we'll go to Vienna. Scandinavian 711 request.
Scandinavian 711, go ahead.
Yeah, with the failure that we have, we decided that we're better off in Vienna for landing. So requesting radar vectors or a direct to a fix somewhere near Vienna.
Okay, no problem. In the moment, continue on present headings. Are you able to, for climbing or you need 10,000 feet?
We are able to climb, but maybe not higher than 15,000 feet.
So climb from flight level 130 and present heading, please.
Present heading, climb level 130, Scandinavian 711. Alright, so thrust climb up, climb out blue, 13,000. Right, so flight level it is, so we're going to go, I just confirm it's flight level 130, Scandinavian 711.
Affirmative, thank you.
Alright, so flight level 130, standard set, cross checked. Speed, guys. What speed are we going to fly? Well, only the Joker, that's a good answer. Less than 280. I'm not happy with green dot. Green dot is okay for holding, but if you want to get somewhere, you want to be flying a bit faster than green dot, but not too fast, so that the Yeah, good, 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 good. So crosswind. Right, but so the FMS, or the ECAM is actually quite clever. So it did notice that the landing gear is down, and it's calling for, well, at least it was calling for max 280. So if you look at the placard speeds, landing gear extended speed is 280. Operating speed, extending is 250 knots, retracting is 220 knots. So as long as we don't move the landing gear, we can go up to 280 knots. Outstar speed. Well, let's try. Let's try 250 knots and let's see what the fuel flow does. Let's try that. In the meantime, I'm just going to enter now the new destination, Lima, Oscar, Victor, Victor. Insert. And let's fetch the ATIS from Vienna. It says information India, ILS runway 16. And we did get a star, so I'm just going to enter the approach itself until we get something else. And I'm going to sequence the plan now.
Please contact now being read or 675 station is informed and wish you a nice landing in 3 weeks.
Ja, 134675, vielen Dank für die Hilfe und dann guten Rutsch from Scandinavian 711.
Ja, ein schönes neues Jahr zu dir, gell? Ciao, Papa, servus.
Ich danke euch, macht's gut. Right, so let's look at the fuel flow now. We're stable at 250 knots. We're burning now about 4 tons again, 4.2 tons per hour. However, our ground speed is now 340 knots. So there's Vienna. And if we go and have a look how far away the runway is.
Servus, wir guten auf Wiedersehen.
Servus. So 34675. So,
Sorry, it was the wrong button.
no problem.
He calls for Austrian 195. 195, yeah, you can monitor Unicom 1228, bye-bye. 228, thank you.
So
Austrian
64 miles, that's about fifth. So that's only 15, well actually, yeah, about 15 minutes to get to Vienna. So with that fuel flow, it's about a ton, maybe 1,200 kilograms of fuel. So we're still going to be there with 3 tons of fuel, roundabout. Vienna, Servus, the connection, the Scandinavian 711, level 130.
Scandinavian 711, good evening. Information is India, expect RS 16. You need any assistance?
Okay, we are preparing for the ILS 16. Currently, no assistance required. We have landing gear down and just one hydraulic issue at the moment, but no assistance required.
Roger. Are you able to find the transition or do you require vectors?
We can fly the transition, Scandi 711.
Thank you, highly appreciated. Scandinavian 711, you cleared Ballard 5 Lima transition for runway 16, shortcut like Whiskey Whiskey 682.
Direct to Whiskey Whiskey 682 to join the Ballard 5 Lima transition, Scandinavian 711.
Ryanair 11 Juliet, descent 3,000 feet, clear the
So
range
682.
3,000 clear ILS 16.
And we've got NAF.
Austrian 16, speed 200 knots.
So the things we need to tell him is maybe once we get a little bit closer, the
16
speed.
left heading 080 down 3,000.
But otherwise, it's a good simulation today because they have a lot of traffic. Just like in real life, we have to decide how serious the problem is that we have and whether or not we need assistance. And we'll get to that in a minute. So by now, I would have made an announcement already. I would have called the cabin crew, would have said, look, we've dealt with the problem. We'll divert to Vienna. We estimate the landing in about 20 minutes from now. It'll be a normal landing. And we'll vacate the runway. We might come to a quick stop to have the fire brigade check for any hydraulic leakages. But if there is none, then we can taxi to the
Option
parking
16
stand.
heading bomb 30, clear the left approach runway 16.
Heading 130, clear approach 16.
And I would tell the passengers as well, the issue
Walker 205, no further
that we've
ATC
lost
at
one of the hydraulic systems. That's why
we
the
learned
landing
about
gear
this
is
always
not
have
being
a
raised.
great day.
And that we can't fly to Malmö because the landing gear is out, and the fact that we've now only got 2 hydraulic systems remaining. And so that we decided it's best operational wise to land in Vienna to take care of the passengers and have them maybe find onward flights to
Flight
Malmö.
230, confirm 220 requested final level.
Yeah, affirmative.
Okay, so
Thank you.
cabin preparation, guys, necessary? Yes, no? What would you do?
Ryanair 112 tower 123 decimal 8, bye bye.
123.8, bye bye.
While you think about this,
Austrian 16, reduce 180 or less, contact tower 1238, bye bye.
I'll enter the data. 10:20. Any cabin preparations? So anything? Would you declare emergency? Would you get the cabin prepared?
Vienna radar, hello, 332 Tango, radio flight level 0, descending flight level 1.
32 Tango, good evening.
Any special preparations?
Whiskey, whiskey, 672, left runway 16, 32 Tango.
Okay, so affirming. What do you think the pan is going to help you with at this present time? That's what I would ask myself. Traffic. Well, I mean, I would agree with you affirming. So if they would tell me that I would need to fly holding pattern, I would say, guys, you know what? I'll call a pan here because I don't really want to, fly holding patterns. I don't want to do a super quick approach. So if you get me into the normal sequence, it'll be fine. But I don't really need big priority right now. I still got things to deal with here. So Ukaki, you're saying it may lead to evacuation. Why do you think it may lead to, it may lead to an evacuation? I mean, we have still alternate braking available. Just got one reverser missing. Landing distance procedure says, we got nose wheel steering. Still have that available, and if you're not sure if you do or not,
332 Tango descend level 110.
if you go to AMI, you could put the steering, the nose wheel steering, to yellow hydraulic system, and that's normally the case these days with all Airbus 320 series, because only the first generation had the nose wheel steering on the green system.
Wien radar, guten Abend, the GN 105 out of 3000 climbing.
GN 105 identified, climb 160.
Climb flight level 160, GN 105.
Yeah, so we've got flaps 3, we've got flaps full available. Could fly the approach normally, normal speeds. We have, nose wheel steering. There's no big issues with the landing distance. Yes, terrain, exactly just like what I mentioned, yeah.
Okay, so Scandinavian 711, descend 8,000, 1020.
Descend 8,000, connection 1020, Scandinavian 711. So I'm going to put this now into descend out blue 8,000. Set QNH cross checked 1020, passing 13,000 feet now. Hey, perfect, Bob. Looking forward to that. All right, so, I mean, you know, it's not wrong. So whenever, if you feel like you need to prepare the cabin for a possible evacuation, I mean, go ahead. You know, if you're the captain, you could do so. But if I were to do that, I need to rephrase my announcement to the passengers. I would have to tell them that the failure is somewhat more serious and that my cabin crew will now prepare the cabin for a possible evacuation. And so passengers need to pay attention. So that gives a whole different vibe in the cabin now. And you have to ask yourself the question, is that necessary? Right? If it's necessary, you know, if there's any doubts, of course, you'll do it. But if you're sure that the aircraft in its current state is fine to land, is fine to control, and is fine to taxi off the runway, yeah. Then yeah, just, you know, try to balance those questions and then make your decision on that. I'm not saying it's wrong, Kaki, so, you know. Yeah, no, it's not wrong. Don't get me, you know, it's so for me as a captain, I would ask myself these questions and then I would make a decision on whether or not to prepare the cabin. If I'm wrong, so afterwards I would have...
with the 8 miles final?
711, yeah, FA.
Roger, expect so, direct Whiskey Whiskey 680.
Whiskey Whiskey 680 direct. Thank you, Scandinavian 711. Alrighty. So 8 miles final now. It's going to take us in a bit shorter. So that does mean we prepare now. Approach ILS 16. Minimums for the approach Cat 1 is 800 feet. I'll activate the approach phase now. 800 feet. Config 3. So up here I'll put config 3 as well. So approach briefing. There's the airport. We are going to fly the approach out of 8 miles. So that's about 3,200 feet. The sector is 3,600, 3,100 around Wagram BOR. And we have an ILS with a 3-degree profile. Minimum Cat 1, 800 feet. Missed approach. Straight ahead, 10 miles. 10 miles from the ILS DB, left turn to Fisherman, and we're going to climb 5,000 feet to hold. We can do that with gear down, no problem. Land distance available.
GN 105, time 240.
Climb flight over 240, GN 105.
Is about 2,000 meters required, so we have a buffer of almost 1,600 meters. So absolutely no issue. We'll vacate right off, and then we should be able to taxi to our parking position on own power and own steering. Fuel at the moment, as things stand, we've got 3.7, 3 tons per hour, so we need about a fifth of that, 600 kilograms. So we'll land with 3 tons as expected prior. So we still have about an hour of remaining flight time. So we'll stay in the pattern in Vienna.
32 Tango, direct Whiskey Whiskey 670, descend 8,000, QNH 1019.
Descent of 8,000 feet, QNH 1019, and second the rest with 3 to 10.
Whiskey
Right,
Whiskey
so
670.
regarding the procedure, put that to local speed here.
Whiskey Whiskey 670.
So normal procedure is you gotta be aware the flaps
Problem.
will move a bit
711,
slower.
descend 6,000, revise QNH 1019.
6000, connection 1019, Scandinavian 71. And I'm also going to slow down here. So the flaps will move a bit slower. Thrust idle percent out blue 6000. But apart from that, it'll handle normally. On touchdown, oh, actually, let's do the go-around case first. So go-around, we'll say go-around flaps. We'll move the flaps to 2. However, I'll call out the modes on the prime flat display, but we will not raise the landing gear. Landing gear remains down, non-standard. Climb gradient is assured. And then we'll just fly the standard pattern and clean up later up to config 0. Touchdown, we've got 1 spoiler pair missing, the rest should come up. We'll have idle reverse on reverser number 2. Manual braking. And initially I will use max manual braking, see how the braking is, or how the braking performance is working, and then yeah, we'll aim for a good exit to the right.
Scandinavian 711, descent 4000.
Descent 4000, Scandinavian 711. Right, here comes flaps 1. Speed is check, flaps 1. Yeah, so Yoda, the thing is that initially you have to do the braking as you have calculated with, and then once you realize that the braking action is much better than expected, then of course you can adjust the braking pressure or the braking force. But initially you have to do exactly as you have calculated with, just so that if anything goes wrong and the braking coefficient is as bad as expected, etc., then at least you've done the right thing right from the start. Don't know why that's doing it, because normally the change
radar,
in...
hello, Wien radar, correction, Swiss 35 November, passing 2000 feet, climbing 5000.
I mean, we did change the
35 November, ich
destination.
dachte schon, wir identified climb 240. Climbing 240 for about our call sign, Swiss 35 November. 18105 Unicom on to date, bye-bye.
Over to Unicom at GN105. Good night, sir.
Lights are still on, that's fine. Good. Anything else? Set managed speed. GPS primary high, that's all fine. We checked that, there's nothing new. Move the status. Yeah, the ATC is brilliant, yeah, I agree. Right, we've got the ILS identified, Oscar Echo Zulu. And I'm just going to put Fisherman.
711, left heading 250.
Left heading 250, Scandinavian 711. So autopilot 1 is engaged again.
32 Tango, descent 6000.
Descent 6000.
250. And let's put this to direct. Final fix 16.
Scandinavian 711, descent 3000.
Welcome aboard the
70,000
Captain Black
Scandinavian
Box
711.
Christmas and New Year
Right, flaps 2, speed is check,
infotainment
flaps 2,
experience.
speed
Could new
managed.
subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where seasonal aperitifs, canapes and Christmas cheer will be served. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, for the shout out first. Why the hell did it
Thanks a lot for this, enjoying it a lot. Vitus so smile.
Thank you so much for the resub. I'll call you out in a minute. Just give me a second to get everything sorted here. Gear's already down. Cabin pressure, low differential pressure, expect high cabin rate, aircraft vertical speed reduce. Alright, so that's checked. That's I don't know why that failed there, but there we go. Right, so flaps 3, final settings. Speed is checked, flaps 3. Who was that? Hang on. Who resubbed? That was the King. Thank you so much for 11 months.
Scandinavian 711, left heading 190, clear the descent approach, runway 16.
Left heading 190, cleared the LS16, Scandinavian 71. Right, so we got Graz Blue, Lock Blue, Autopilot 1, and Cat 3 single.
Welcome aboard the Captain Black Box Christmas and New Year infotainment experience. Could new subscribers please make their way to the first class cabin where seasonal aperitifs, canapes and Christmas cheer will be served. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Also, to Maxime 737, thank you so much for the 4 months. I'm glad you enjoyed
Great
the
stream today, less than 3.
Right, let's see, where are we? There's the runway. So 3,000 is below MSA, but safe according to contour layers. We're under radar vectors. Position is confirmed. Out star. Alright, so... Anti-skid is working.
4,000, B200.
2,500.
Yes, checked. Missed approach. 5,000 is set. Full established. Scandinavian 711.
Scandinavian 711, tower 123 decimal 8, bye-bye.
23.8. Thank you much, Scandinavian 711. 23.8.
32 Tango, right heading 090.
I wonder, is that special frequency from Manchester? Because I don't see that on the pilot. Sarah's Wien Tower, the Scandinavian 711 on the ILS 16.
Scandinavian 711, Wien Tower, hello. Wind 130 degrees, 6 knots, runway 16, clear to land.
Runway 16 clear to land, Scandinavian 711. I thought so. Right, manual thrust. Spoilers armed. Manual flight. Landing checklist. ECMIM landing no blue. Done everything. And if you think this failure is somewhat not realistic, well, a good friend of mine actually had, about a couple of weeks ago, let's say 5 weeks ago, had that failure. Not with the gear coming up, but he had a green hydraulic failure. So it does happen in real life. We're having we had an issue with the landing gear. We couldn't raise the landing gear initially out of Graz, and then we had a leak in the hydraulic system, the green system. No, the auto brake doesn't work because the green hydraulic system has or means that the normal braking is in up. So we're on alternate braking with anti-skid. However, we don't have auto brake available.
1,000.
1,000 is checked. Stable. Cat 1. Clear to land. Wind 11 knots at the moment. It's going to die down a bit to
Wien Tower Servus, Austrian 369 at stand Foxtrot 16 with information Juliet requesting clearance to Graz. Please speak slowly.
Oh, that's cool.
Austrian 369 Wien Tower, hello. Information Juliet correct. Cleared Graz for the Irgot to Charlie departure. We need to climb 5,000 feet. Score 1,000, catch 1019.
500.
Wow. It's even dropping below 30 FPS again. What on earth is going on with Microsoft Flight Sim at the moment? Blimey.
400. 100 above. 300.
I would guess a driver issue.
Minimum.
Continue.
$100.
Lol.
50. 30. 20. Retard.
GG. That was a slideshow for me. I don't know how it looked on your end. Right, maximum braking. I'll put back to idle reverse. Right, good braking. No, the last time I was here in Vienna, I had
Austrian 369 cleared to
I had
Graz,
60
Divert 2
FPS.
Charlie departure, initial climb 5000, squawk 1000.
From 369 correct.
Right, let's vacate here.
Vienna Tower, hello, 632 Tango, final runway 16.
I'm shocked about the performance at the moment.
632 Tango, Wien Tower, hello.
I've not changed anything with the settings. Like, you know, 5 days ago.
Scandinavian 711, taxi to gate Foxtrot 31 via Delta Lima and taxi lane 37.
Via Delta Lima, taxi lane 37 to Foxtrot 31, scan the 711. Yes, FR Wave, you know what? It is. Yeah, it could be those two, Mark. It could be GSX, or it could be the Flow app. It's this app here that just came out from Parallel. Right, just need to check where Delta is here real quickly. Hold on a second.
All stations, Vienna Tower is now closing. Monitor Unicom wants to do the simulator. Thanks for flying today.
So here's Lima. Alright, so next one left here. Thanks for the service.
Thanks.
So the second to the left there.
Thanks, bye-bye, happy holidays.
Delta, then there's Lima. And then taxi lane 37 to the stand. Captain HMW, thanks sir, glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I have a dry mouth now. I talked so much. Alright, after landing flows. So after landing checklist, radar, predictive wind shear system is off. No, but you know what? I'm gonna throw out GSX again, and let's see if that improves the frames. And if that doesn't help, I'll deinstall Flow to see if that's the cause. Yeah, I don't have the injector, Senshai. I only have the model matching. Right, but anyways, back to the failure. It's not completely impossible to have a hydraulic leak as you're taking off. And the only thing I've really forgotten was in real life, I would have had to tell the tower controller in Graz that they should maybe check the runway for any hydraulic fluid. So here's 37. Because obviously the landing gear not raising after liftoff, and then shortly afterward getting that getting the hydraulic low pressure and low quality infos. Yeah, definitely would have been a good idea to call the tower. Well, I mean, I've already started yesterday, Mark. So I already did all the updates, company updates. I checked limitations again. So I've already prepared for 2 days now in a row. Right, where's 37? There's 37. Yeah, so fly with Niklas. Already got that tip. So GSX is not running in the background there. But I think it could have to do with that because the issue started when I actually installed GSX again. MCK, I don't think so. At least the update that I saw, it didn't have that yet.
Yeah, right.
And if I remember correctly, it's going to be in the first quarter, but they haven't done it just yet. So that's there. Let's put that on. Lead on to... Right, so maintenance does have some work to do with this aircraft now. Yeah, thank you. So I also cleared the local cache. I think I've done that not too long ago. Yeah, I'll do that again. Absolutely. Well, MCK, it's normally has to do with a combination of changes. So for us, there's another thing, a big thing coming, which I'm not going to talk about here. But so I would imagine that they just postponed it into the new year. And it's not a big thing at the moment, right? Had to say checked when the other crew member calls out the mode change. I mean, something minor. So parking, park brakes, shocks, park brake is set, engines off, wing lights off, and fuel pumps to go off as well.
Good night, Black Box.
Yeah, so exactly, guys. Thank you so much for another fantastic year. My dear moderators, as I said in the Christmas video, thank you so much for all the help, your friendship, and all the good advice that I got from you guys. And for everyone, I wish you all a happy new year when it arrives. All the best for next year. And I'll see you on the 6th of January at 1700 UTC
Good
for
night,
the next live stream, if
Black
you like.
Box.
Thank you so much, Alex. And Bob, thank you so much. Thank you, Terrain Ahead. Yeah, thank you everyone for watching, for interacting. Some great questions that came in again today. That is always much appreciated. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I'll see you again very soon, I promise. Vickers, good night to you as well. Mark, yeah,
Good night,
have a great new year.
Black Box.
Yoda, thank you. MCK, all the best wishes. Christian, the same to you. Thank you so much, everyone. Senshai as well. Good night. Voyager, mach's gut. Bleib gesund. Good night.